Welcome into the Cowboys Report. It's your boy Tom Downey here once again. ESPN has recently put out an entire 7-round mock draft, so we're going to break down all of the Dallas Cowboys selections. Spoiler alert, I'm a big fan of what ESPN was able to get for the Cowboys, although maybe not the most realistic one. Now, we will keep doing mock drafts for you guys with the NFL draft less than a month away. If you want a new mock draft from me with trades, then like this video. If it gets to 1,000 likes today, we'll put it on our live show on Monday. So like the video for me right now. Let's break down the first pick. Round 1, number 26 overall, Calijah Kancey is the pick here. Maybe a bit of a surprise. The undersized but highly athletic, disruptive, 3 technique who could give you the impact player you haven't really had at that defensive tackle spot over the years. Of course, you're able to keep Hankins, not so much Carlos Watkins. For what it's worth, the corners, receivers, and Bijan Robinson were also all gone. Dallas gets Kancey, who could very well be off the board by the time they make their pick in round 1. It would be a departure from the Cowboys' more typical MO. Kancey is undersized. His arm length is not that great either. This would be a different style of pick. But imagine Kancey up front on this defensive line depth chart, in particular on passing downs. I do worry that Kancey in the end ends up being the almost unheard of DPR defensive tackle, where he's only really out there on pass rushing downs. But I've craved for years the disruptive player on the interior, and Kancey brings that for you in that 3-tech mold. The Cowboys did lose Carlos Watkins last night. I think there's a good chance they either add via free agency or draft another defensive tackle. Kancey's the pick in round 1. The pass rushing upside does intrigue me. He's got a 2nd-round grade for me. Other notable players who were on the board, so all the guards were there. All the tight ends were there. Michael Mayer, Dalton Kincaid, etc. Drew Sanders was there. Brian Brzee and my guy Brian Branch. So first defensive tackle really off the board in this mock draft from ESPN's Jordan Reid. In an ideal world, and you don't ever want to lock yourself into one position, but assuming it's similarly graded players in that kind of worth the 26th overall pick, what position would you like the Cowboys to take in round 1? Sound off for me at the pinned comment of today's video. If the ad break comes here on YouTube, then take advantage of it. Ignore whatever's playing. Head down to the pinned comment. Let me know your ideal draft position in round 1 for the Cowboys. Some of you might say guard. Well, in this mock, Steve Avila slid all the way down to pick 58, and that is a fantastic outcome for the Cowboys. I'm unconvinced he's going to fall to you in round 2, and he might be a fallback option in round 1, depending on how the board itself ends up falling. There's a plug-and-play option for you at left guard. He's not a premier athlete, but he's a really good run blocker, has center experience as well. Avila in the 2nd round is about as perfect of a draft pick as you could hope for right now for the Cowboys, within reason. Like, yeah, wouldn't it be great if Joey Porter Jr. for the rest? He's not going to, so it's just not going to happen. The O-line as it sits right now, this is your best 5. Now, the Cowboys have kind of said, they're thinking about, Terrence Steele at left guard, which just screams they don't want everyone to know they're going to take a guard early this year. That's kind of the vibe I get here. Steve Avila is, for me, the number 2 offensive guard prospect. I would not be surprised if those at the Star have him as their number 1 offensive guard prospect this year. So getting him in round 2 is an awesome result that I'm not sure, but it's the draft. Weird stuff happens if it ends up going down. Now, today's Cowboys Report is brought to you by Athletic Greens. Unlike most of these NFL draft prospects, I am old now. That's why I started using Athletic Greens, because I got to take better care of my body. I wanted better gut health and supplements that actually taste great, because some of them are just really disgusting, and I don't want to do the pill stuff. So I take AG1 in the morning. Makes me feel prepared to take on my day. I don't feel the same need for caffeine anymore, and I feel energized throughout the day as well, and it also helps my whole body gut health. Covering the nutritional base of the day literally couldn't be any easier. That's why I trust Athletic Greens. If you're a workout person, AG1 is perfect for you. It's a really effective daily habit with the highest quality sourced ingredients. If a comprehensive and easy and affordable solution is what you need from your supplement routine, they're giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. So go to athleticgreens.com/chatsports. That's athleticgreens.com/chatsports. to get your deal today. Links in the comment section and the description of today's video. Let's go to round 3. How about Zach Charbonnet being on the board in the 3rd round? I think Avila goes between your 1st round pick, unless you take him, and your 2nd round pick. I think Charbonnet is more likely to go between your 2nd round pick, unless you take him, and your 3rd round pick. Getting him at 90 is awesome. This is a fantastic Ezekiel Elliott replacement and Tony Pollard complement. His numbers this past year were incredible. Over 1,000, almost 1,400 yards, 7 yards per carry. He does not have the same juice, the burst, that Tony Pollard does. He's not going to be that home run threat, but he can be a significant workload carrier for you. He's very effective. He's got great vision. Zach Charbonnet is my number 4 back in this year's class. Getting him in the 3rd round would be, it's an ideal haul through 3 rounds. Even if you don't love Calijah Kancey, I think getting Steve Avila and getting Zach Charbonnet in round 2 and round 3, that is crushing day 2 of the NFL draft. We'll get to day 3 here, but in general, again, in an ideal world, in a loaded draft class, what round would you draft a running back in? I don't really want to take one in the 1st. I think the 3rd, 4th round range, in an, ideal world, is the sweet spot, but let me know where you would take one in the comment section. Round 4, Brenton Strange, the tight end from Penn State. He's going to be a borderline top 100 player for me. So, again, great value here from the ESPN Mock Draft. I think he's an underrated tight end prospect because, A, the production does not pop off the screen. That's okay. The quarterback play was not the most consistent at Penn State over the past couple years. But there's a lot to like about Strange, and a type of player that you would fully expect is a better NFL guy than he was in college. You can still use Ferguson, Hendershot. Adding Strange to the mix, I feel pretty good about that tight end room. We will have plenty of Cowboys NFL draft videos for you here at the Cowboys Report. So if you haven't already, join the most subscribed, most watched Cowboys YouTube channel right now. They even got me a fatty in the 5th round. Pick number 169, super nice. Jerrod Clark, who's upwards in the 330s, 340s. Coastal Carolina did put up pretty damn good production for Coastal Carolina. Again, lesser competition, but 10 TFLs, 3.5 sacks is better than some of the other nose guards in this year's class. You lose Carlos Watkins. Getting Jerrod Clark on day 3 is a fantastic idea. I always do love the teal for Coastal Carolina. It just looks sharp, man. I wish an NFL team had that color more. But Clark on day 3, fully on board there. Then there's the quarterback off the board, Clayton Tune out of Houston. A little bit older, a little bit limited, I think, with his physical skill set, but he was very productive for Houston. 40 touchdown passes this past year. 2 really good years for the Cougars in that's college offense. That's okay there. I think he fits the mold, though, of what you're looking for in a backup quarterback. 6 rounds, about the right range for him, so I like that pick quite a bit. I guess the one I liked the least was the round 7 selection, Micah Baskerville. Now, first off, having 2 Micahs, a little scary there. Baskerville's numbers are not that bad at LSU. He has some TFLs, has some pass breakups. The real issue here is he's just not an NFL caliber athlete. The testing was not particularly good for a slightly undersized player. That's going to understandably raise some red flags. But you're in the 7th round, so if you're mad about the 7th round pick, there's no such thing as a bad one. He does have a good special teams background. Could be how he makes his way in the NFL. So to recap the picks, Calijah Kancey, round 1, defensive tackle from Pitt. TCU offensive guard Steve Avila in the 2nd. UCLA running back Zach Charbonnet in the 3rd. Tight end Brenton Strange from Penn State in the 4th. Jerrod Clark out of Coastal Carolina, the Chanticleers, in the 5th round. Clayton Tune, quarterback from Houston, in the 6th. And Micah Baskerville, the linebacker from LSU, keeping the streak going of LSU linebackers drafted on day 3 by the Cowboys. I give this mock draft an A. I think they got really great day 2 value. If that's how it turns out, I would be very happy with that haul for the Dallas Cowboys. So grade it for me in the comments section. A, B, C, D, or F. And if you have any questions at all on the Dallas Cowboys, you can always DM me on Twitter at @WhatGoingDowneyCowboys or NFL Draft Questions.